learned how to make this rug in a dream out of old t-shirts and climbing rope. And now I'm making another one, so I'm going to teach you how. The first thing I did was wash all the ropes and made my bathroom disgusting. Ewy! But it made the ropes look a little bit more clean. While it dried, I laid it flat in rows of roughly a meter. That way I could see how much I had and cut it down into more workable sections. I used a small green section to start this rug, and to begin weaving we'll be starting at the very center in the first bend. I took a part out of the core for this and then took a lighter and melted the center together so that it would stay flat. If it doesn't lay flat, it will create more of a jelly bean shape in the rug, and I'm not really looking for that. To begin weaving, you just wrap the t-shirt around the two ropes until you reach the end. You're going to want to make sure this part is really tension so that it will all stay together, because once you move on, you can't go back. Here I'm starting my first row, and I just use tweezers and pull it all the way through. For the first row or so, it is best to pull it all the way through each time you go through. That way you have something reliable that will keep the tension. Once you get a little bit further in, you can start leaving it behind and then catching up once you run out of rope or meet up with it on the other end. I found the best way to do this is to flake it into one stack, flip the stack, move it over, and then continue going down the line to meet up with the working end. This process is really repetitive and can make you feel crazy, but once you get far enough, you'll be able to grab sections and pull it through more efficiently. I don't really know how to explain this, but if you just make a bunch of loops and then pull on them, it will move the string forward and make it a lot easier for you to section everything off and bring it up to the front and continue. After I've met up with my working end, I always go back through and take out all of the slack. This allows me to make sure that all the strands are laying evenly in where I want them to be and keep it from getting loose in the future. Because my OCD is not allowing me to make any knots in this process, I feel that it's really important that I use as long of a strand as possible, so you don't have to do this crazy amount, but it does make the integrity of the rug a lot better to use one consecutive strand than to break it up into a lot smaller pieces. But you do you, honestly. I did already make a video on how to make the strands that I'm using out of t-shirts, so if you're curious about that, you can look at my page and check that out. The further you get into the process of making this, the easier it does get, because then you'll be able to leave strands of the looped ends, and it makes it just a lot easier to manage everything. But yeah, you just keep working your way around until you meet up with that, and then bring it all up to the front and continue. And eventually I'll be adding a new rope. Like and follow to see how I finish.